close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you are in the world. My name's Karl Smith from the UK Hypnosis Academy, and it's great to have you back on board. For those people last night that joined us, thanks very much. And thanks very much for just taking note. I had to bugger off early. I was on a business mentoring course yesterday, and I booked it 3 months ago, and I haven't got a clue where that 3 months went. And it wasn't until yesterday somebody texted me and said, oh, by the way, you're on that course. So, I'll be imparting some of that knowledge over to you guys very shortly, but it's been a whirlwind. But no, thanks very much. And Dave just put up just then, and I'm just going to put this up because I'm going to talk about this. It is a big elephant in the room topic that we're going to be talking about tonight, and we are talking about the long effects of COVID. We're going to be talking about COVID, and I want to specifically, because this title will probably go out to people who are non-therapists as well. So I want to make it quite clear. I am not a doctor. I am not medically trained. I'm going from my experience in working with people and watching what doctors do from around the globe and stuff like that. Funny enough, just as I went to air, just as the music was playing in the background, I received an email, and I've just sent it to Anthony Jacquin as well, just shortly before. But anyway, I'm going to share it with you in a moment. It's about COVID and some doctors, but it is a touchy subject, and for those people who are not therapists, I have got about 5 or 6 videos on my YouTube channel that show the full process. And I'm going to, my objective tonight is to give you some hope. Hope's the wrong word. Give you some light, let's just say, that you can get results with hypnosis and hypnotherapy. And also as well, that there are things to be looking out for as well if you're a therapist. I'm going to go stage by stage on how I did it, what I did, and about the parameters that you need to work with. I mean, it's quite volatile at the present moment in time. I've got enough critics that tell me that you can't do it. I've got doctors that tell me you can't do it, but my clients seem to think that I can do it because they've got the results. And it's a bit of a topsy-turvy world at the moment, where everyone obviously is is all of a sudden gained a PhD in everything that they do, and that's utmost respect to those people who have owned proper PhDs. But I mean, those people that have been in Facebook groups and obviously been watching a lot of things that are going on around the planet, and obviously want to critique all those things. And it's like that old saying, it's not the man in the arena, isn't it? It's the man in the arena. That type of effect, and you've got to do it there. I go by my results. I go by the process that I use, and I also go by what my clients give me as feedback. And I'm going to be loading up a video tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be tomorrow. A video of another successful working with long COVID, restoring flavor and smell back, and removing a sulfuric acid as well. I'm going to go down that route in a moment. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing for the next 55 minutes. Well, we're going to be doing that for about the next 40 minutes, and then I'll throw those. You can throw questions at me about what I've done about that. But guys, this will be going out to non-therapists as well. This is people that are looking and searching for. If you, and by all means, I'm going to go through the process. And if you are a person that is going through long COVID symptoms at the present moment in time, don't forget, you have to go, do the doctor thing and all that type of stuff. But if you've tried everything else, I'm going to give you some options tonight. I'm going to then go watch some of my videos where you can see me actually changing people's lives. No, wrong. Where they're changing their lives and I'm merely facilitating a session with them. So there is light. All right. Not for everybody. I'm going to come to that in a bit. Okay, subliminals, you seem to have won tonight. James, hope you're well. Hope you're fine. Max, hope you're well, buddy. Wendy, hope you're fine. Shane, Hello, buddy. How are you? Jackie Brennan, hope you're well, hope you're fine. I'll speak to you tomorrow, darling. Simon, hope you're well in Dartington. Colette, hope you're well, hope you're fine. Carol, hope you're well. David, hope you're well, my friend. Janet, hope you're well. Kathleen, hope you're well, hope you're fine. Arik Nat Nun Nat, hope you go. I'm actually supporting Scotland tonight. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I am supporting Scotland. All right. So Levi, hope you're well. Mario, hope you're well. Mel, hope you're well. Mindshoot, hope you're well. James Duncan, Frederick. Oh, and Lamagui, hello, darling. How are? So hope you're well. Hope you're fine. And all those. And Renee, hope you're well. Hope you're fine in Saskatchewan. Hope you're well. Hope you're fine. Like I said, I'm just going to reiterate because there are people that watch my videos and like to pull them apart. I am not a doctor, and I've never said I'm a doctor. And to be brutally honest, I don't think I ever will be a doctor. And that's a personal opinion of mine. I haven't got enough time because I'm too busy working with humans, and doesn't interest me. So the key thing is that I work with humans. That's the main thing. I work with the person that's sat in the chair, not the label that they've been given. And that's one of the key things that I want you to start looking at as well, is I work with the person, not the label. I know they're given a label to justify the existence of some people's dissertations and stuff like that. Not that I'm an anti-doctor, by the way, before anyone gets me on that, is that it's not. I just feel that sometimes we overcomplicate things just to justify our existence. So there we go. Right. So the key thing that I want to talk about tonight is some of the successes I've had and failures, because it does happen. Now, one of the things that you're going to have to take home is that is that when you are working with anything like this, there's two things to take into consideration. Okay. Well, two things is that when you're working with long-term COVID issues, you have to realize there could be a physical issue actually within the body that the COVID has caused damage, or it's psychological. That's something that you're going to have to figure out, and you're only going to know when the person sat in the chair, to be brutally honest. And the key thing is that you're going to come under fire. I've come under fire for this stuff before, but at the end of the day, it's just one of those things. It's probably people not seeing enough clients that want to attack me for that. But on the same token, the point being is that I've had more successes than I have had failures. I'll be brutally honest. Don't worry about my wordage and verbiage and all that shit tonight. That's where I am, and I'm prepared to put those ones on there. And the key thing about when you're working, one of the key things that I can stress enough, and I'm going to come on to this in a moment, is about clean language. All of my sessions that are recorded, all of the ones that I've ever done, one of the key things that I'm always going to stress to you in any scenario, in any of my work, when you've watched any of my work, especially the videos, is about clean language and not offering suggestions that could imply or leave a suggestion that, for instance, go get a lemon and it will taste like lemon. You'll never see me do that. I've never done that. But on the same token, it's something that you need to be very cautious of about your language skills near the person. And the key thing about that is that when you're working with somebody, it's about getting this horrid thing that's going on in their life at the moment, this hateful thing that's going on, to restore it. Because the people that I spoke to somebody today, and what really fired this off today is because I got a successful one last week, and somebody phoned me today and just said they felt like just putting their head in an oven and gassing themselves. That was one of the comments, that they just had enough, that they just had enough of life. They can't smell, taste anything, and anything that does go in their mouth smells like rotten eggs. And and this is something that I was talking about the other day to somebody, is that, losing flavors and taste must be absolutely horrendous. I mean, I could never imagine that, but gin will always come in different flavors. It'll always have the same effect. Anyway, that's a different part. But the thing is that we are in an environment where doctors cannot even agree on whether it can or cannot work, or should not work. That is the world that we're in. So who are we, if you are not a qualified doctor? And I know there are a couple of people watching that are. Who are we as lay people to be able to question that? And that is why my statement at the very beginning is I work with the human first, I work with the person first, then the label. And it's really primary in this, because they may well have all of the symptoms and everything like that, but I've had great results. And I just want you to know to start going out there and being honest with people and saying that you've got 50-50 chance. And I'm going to repeat this at the very, very end. So the key things that I wanted to bring up is, if you didn't know about it, is what you want to going to do is going to go against parasmia and anosmia. Jesus Christ, I got a cold. What we've got there are the two, which are the smelly sulfuric flavor when anyone eats anything with parasmia, and then anosmia, you've got, this is now about to sneeze, you've got the loss of taste and smell. And the key thing is that if you haven't done any research on these, go have a look at them, go take a peek at them. But on the same token, they're two primarily the things that I'm working with at the moment. I seem to be getting an enormous amount of people phoning me up for it because of my YouTube channel, and I'm having to be very, very brutally blunt honest. And I'm going to break a rule with this one, is that what I have done with this, to be brutally honest, is that I've been, and those people who are watching this now who are potential clients, is that what I've actually been doing is, apart from doing my contraindications and my pre-talk on video, is I've actually, with this, to be honest with them, because it could be a physical problem or it could be a psychological problem, is that what I have been doing is not to waste people's hard-earned cash, is doing a quick 10-minute session, which breaks all the protocols I've ever said to you. But in this scenario, because it's so, because we don't know until they're in the chair, then that's the way that I've been operating with this. I offer people free 10 minutes. And then what we do is we go through some of the scenarios, a little bit of basic hypnosis, see if we can get hypnosis for starters. And then what we'll do then is we'll go along the pipeline of Maggie Fingers and then going along there. But it's the only time I'd ever do it, because when you're charging, when you're charging a bit of money and some people can't afford it, I think it's only right that you do what that I do. I don't mind doing it. It's how you do this. But the key thing is, the key thing about this is that I want you to implement things, and maybe in your video strategies that we're talking about for therapists, is to maybe start talking about this and getting out there. Because funny enough, Anthony Jacquin, all the trainers are fairly good friends in the background. I mean, I was talking to Anthony today. He advertised something. At the moment, I pressed this as well. So I contacted Anthony. I think he might be watching now. I contacted Anthony just to say, I'm doing COVID tonight as well. And he went, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We've all got our own opinions on this type of stuff. But actually, while I was sitting there yapping away to him, another one came through for tomorrow. If anyone's interested, it's beating long COVID. But it's with the Get Well show, so I won't be doing that. But it's quite interesting, really, how I've had how the response has been with me working with people, and my videos show that I'm honest with people. And the reason that you're seeing more on my channel with successes rather than the failures, and I'll tell you for what. And in some of them, they haven't got everything. They haven't got everything back, but we have managed to gain some things back. And the reason is because of that pre-qualification I decided to do at the very beginning of this. And that became vitally important for me, because when you've got people paying, £200, what's that, 400 Australian dollars, 250 US for a session, then at the end of the day, I from my heart, I want to know that I'm giving it 100% and I'm not battling something which is that I'm going to take their money and run. I'm not into that shit. You all know that anyway. So I do the pre-qualification. Let me just answer this with Mario while we're here. So qualification of your long COVID clients is difficult. No, that's the point. The point is that I will say to them, I will do the contraindications bit, but I will do it on the phone. Have you had schizophrenia? Have you had bipolar? Any manic depressant? Have you suicidal? Blah, 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 blah. And I'll go through all of those. The other thing as well that I will do, because it's on my website, I actually advertise this as a session. Working with COVID, long COVID, and it's in the drop down box if you want to go look at it. But the thing is that with that is that I will do this all over the phone. I will get them a mutual time to contact me, and then what I'll do then is I'll walk them talking through the process that would have naturally happened if they would have booked via the website. So I have bent the rules on this one. So what I do is I go through that, and then what I do is by pre-qualifying them is basically, do you want this? And then the second, which is normally if they are in a really desperate place, of course I can do. And then the next phase that I do, which I wouldn't necessarily do because of a time thing, but because I've got a bit of time because everything else is automated in my business, is that with this one, I will actually start the hypnosis process with them. Test for hypnosis, all of that. For those hypnotherapists out there that just watch that, you know what I mean. For those that don't know what I mean, then you'll watch my YouTube channel, you'll get what it is. I get the hypnosis. And then what I will do then is do some fine testing to see if hypnosis is right for them, and then start to do things in the back of their throat, in the back of their nose. And I'm going to come on to that in a moment. But that's technically what I do. And it might take me 10, 15 minutes to do the whole lot, that pre-qualification, but it's not hard to do. It's just, it's more time consuming. And for you guys that are already offering, and I wouldn't know why, that you're offering a consultation for an hour or 45 minutes or whatever, you can just bang this on. But for somebody like me who's automated my system, and it's all pre-done, then for me, I have to go a little bit further outside the box. But in this scenario, then I've been doing it. So that's what that's the way that I pre-qualify them. All I do is set up a session, say, are you free Monday, 5 o'clock? Okay, quick, 10, 15 minutes. We'll see if hypnosis is right for you, and we'll see if we can do something. And I'm going to come on to that in a moment, one of the tests that I do on there, to qualify them for it. And then we can go from there, really. So that's it. Jules, just to let you know, I have got all your emails and I have got your text messages, and I will be with you tomorrow. I've just been so flat out with this business conference I've been at. So the key thing is that what I want. So I hope that answers your question, Mario, by the way. Yeah, and absolutely right. Yeah, right. You've got to qualify the client and then figure out if this is going to figure out for them. It's the only time in my career that, I'll be brutally honest, that I've gone to this extent when I'm working with something. You know, I normally qualify people on the phone and then do the hypnosis and then go for it. But in this scenario, what I have done is I want to qualify them, test for hypnosis, and test a certain couple of things that go on in there as well. And like I said, it's very, very clean. There's no suggestion of certain things that some people think I do, but I don't. But it's there. And like I said, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you, counseling is never ever going to touch this. CBT, you may as well, you may as well just go plat piss. But on the same token, there's no use in this, and we're going into hypnosis and other things that I'm going to talk about now. The interesting thing that I received just prior to coming on was, I was looking for it earlier, but at Norwich UEA, at Norwich University Hospital that we've got here, there is a doctor that's currently using and getting results with smell testing and using smells to retrain the brain. So there's one thing that you could look at as well, smell training. There's lots of that. At the end of the day, there's something to go look at. What the parameters are of his tests, I'll never know. He's a PhD. In fact, no, I think he was a professor. So, I'm not to sit here and query, but it was quite interesting. I will get the information if you want to do it. I'm just talking about other things. There is another doctor here. Funny enough, on the email that I received a minute ago, another doctor that's talking about nutrition. They reckon that nutrition can change it. I'm not going to say no. I'm just saying that I'm coming back to it is when doctors can't agree, who am I? I'm just throwing this out there. So if you don't know this, then you can go look for it yourself. Nutrition's one of them. Homeopathic as well, by epidemiologist. Excuse me tonight because I've got a stinking cold for some strange reason, and it isn't COVID. But she reckons homeopath. They're going down that route there. And some of the things that I'm just reading this off an email that literally I received earlier, just before I came on. But yeah, they're talking about supplements, immuno rejuvenation, homeopathic studies and stuff like that. Energy tapping, side effects of vaccines. How to do that? I don't know about that. If anyone can show me how to stop the side effects of vaccines, I would be really interested. But on the same token, there are many different things. And like I said, you are going to get half a bunch of doctors telling you no, it's impossible, and the other half are going to say Yes, it is possible. So the way that I work is in everybody that knows me, and the way that I work is I work with the person first, the human, and then I work with a label. And that in itself helps people when I'm working with them, because at the end of the day, the reason I do that pre-test, by the way, let me just come back to that. The reason I do that pre-test is to give them the confidence that this is the right way to go. Because some of them, I was working with a lady, and I know her daughter may well be watching, but I was working with a lady that had been sniffing eucalyptus so much because it was the strongest flavor that it was the only flavor that came back, that everything tasted of eucalyptus thereafter. Didn't matter what she did, didn't matter what she'd done, everything. The air smelled of eucalyptus, food tasted of eucalyptus. And we did a session in one night, and obviously it was just they had their meal afterwards, and I'm not going to say too much because I think she's watching right now, but it was the interesting thing is the conflict between the emotion and the intellect is that she was eating food apparently on the plate and going, well, it just tastes like a carrot. Yeah, I can taste the carrot, but but she couldn't taste, let's say, sprout. I couldn't remember what it was, or mustard, but there were certain things on the plate that she could, but acted like it was nothing new, like it's normal. And that was quite weird, really, to do that. So there's that. I'm going to take questions as we go along, because I want to give you some ideas on the tactics that I've used. Some of you, if you watch my videos, will get it. If some of you haven't, then we will. COVID does neurological damage, so we should be able to redirect the healthy neurological connections and replace the damaged areas of the body and the brain. Absolutely, and that's what I do in my videos. But the point being is, if there is damage to the membrane, if there is damage, physiological damage, some people may say that you can fix it. I would not go as far as saying that the hypnosis could do that. There's no way on this planet I would say anything like that. But that's one of the key things that you need to look at as well, is that that's why I do that pre-test. And that's why, and I'm going to say it again, normally I like to put cock-ups up on my website, on my YouTube channel, to show things. They don't always go to plan. But in this case, because of that pre-qualification, because of me speaking to people prior to doing that, then that's helped me no end. And I would say that out of the 25 people I've seen, I think there's only 3 or 4, I think, that have 2, nothing happened there and then, and nothing ever happened. 2, we had spontaneous results, but then 3-4 days later, they drifted off. And that's something to consider as well. And that's why being clean with your language and clean the way you work is so vitally important. And that's something that I want you to do. Are you finding that the sense of smell might be lost to trauma? Perhaps there is a memory issue. I can't say I've ever looked at that avenue, but the way that I'm working, I'm not going to bore the crap out of you tonight, but fundamentally what I'm doing first is I'm working with the emotional detox. Now, I know some people, I get people going, you're just like a broken record. It's like a silver bullet. It's not. If it works, then I use it as a foundation to all of my work. But that's predominantly where I start with this. And if there is any trauma, any issues like that, then I will work with it. As for the memory issues, that may unfold within my foundational work, or I might work on it later. But I can't say that I've experienced that, because the way that I tend to work, and I might as well tell you now, is that the way I tend to work is do the induction all the way through, Mystical Magical Place, emotional detox, and start that way. But then what I start to tend to do then is start to reconnect certain parts of the body. Now, I'm always talking to this thing and telling this, open up the subconscious, monkey brain, all of that type of stuff. And I know that offends somebody who's watching. Good. So the thing is that I open that up there, the subconscious, unconscious, monkey brain. And then what I will do then is I'll ask this to reconnect to the tongue. And then here's one way that I have found it, is I've asked the subconscious, unconscious, monkey brain to turn on to restore, fix, repair any component parts that need to right now, basically. And then I've used the light bulb as well, the light bulb scenario as well. So I get them to imagine that their tongue, or the subconscious, unconscious, I'm only throwing an idea out for you to go away, go bastardize and go play with, but that the tongue is full of light bulbs. And I ask the subconscious, unconscious to start to turn all of those little light bulbs on to fix, repair, restore any parts or parts thereof that may well be broken. Now we know that most of it will be up here, and you know, psychologically we'll be up here. But on the same token, if I can get it to reconnect to the tongue by turning on all of those little light bulbs all the way through, and then when the subconscious, unconscious monkey brain's ready to, when it's ready to, get them to open their eyes so I can calibrate when all of those imaginary light bulbs are back on. But when all of those are on, that's a technique that I've been using quite a lot with my work. And that's something for you to do. So once I've worked with this and I go to the tongue, then I work to the back of the nose. Be mindful throughout this. Do not use clean language all the way. Do not suggest anything, right? Do not. It's one thing I got straight away. So the first thing I do is from here all the way to the tongue. Then I'll do it to the back of the nose. And I will ask them to reconnect to the back of the nose, like that light bulb fashion all the way through. For anyone who's ever watched me do my mind-body reconnect, technically that's what I'm doing there. And I will do a mind-body reconnect. I'll ask the subconscious to reconnect to the heart, to the gut, to the toes, to the fingers, and I'll get it all to reconnect that way. And I'll ask the subconscious, unconscious monkey brain to do that. But during that light bulb phase, as David's just pointed out there, what I will be asking it is to restore any taste or smell that's been lost or damaged, to restore back to a point in time when it could do. So I'm asking it to restore, fix, repair, restore. That's all I do. Some people may say, well, I just think that's wrong. I couldn't give a shit. Do you know what? I couldn't care. Do you know why? Because it works. And the people I'm working with, it works with. So I don't worry about scientific data when that happens. But the point being is that I reconnect this to the tongue. Then what I do, light bulb effect all the way through, ask all the light bulbs to turn on, or something that you choose. I'm merely giving you an idea to go play with. Then I ask it to go to the back of the nose, reconnect all of those bits up here, anything that it needs to fix, repair, restore, fix, repair, store, do that up here. And then I ask the subconscious to go up here and fix, repair, restore any communications that may well have been failing or may well have been distorted. Very clearly, that's all I do. Ask the subconscious to find anything that needs to fix, repair, restore now that's been causing this. Very clean all the way through. So each time I go to each part, 1, 2, and 3, I always calibrate in between. Always calibrating between. And that's one of the key things as well, is about calibration all the way through. And one of the key things I was going to mention is that on my pre-qualification, I don't know why, but one day I got somebody to imagine that their tongue or the back of their nose felt like it was fizzing. And I said, just imagine there's something fizzy on your tongue, a sensation, not a taste, a fizzing sensation, or in the back of your nose, maybe a tingling or a sense or something like that. No smells, no tastes, just a sensation. And I found that by asking those two questions, if I got, I felt like my tongue it felt like somebody had put bicarbonated soda on it, or the back of my nose felt like, one person said to me the other day, you know, when you dip your head back in the water and you sometimes get water up your nose and you get that little sharp shooting pain up there, they got that. But they didn't have that. They never had that before. One of those questions is, have you ever experienced that sensation I've just given you on your tongue or in your nose before? If the answer is no, we've already got connection to something. That's what I'm on about pre-qualifying. If we can get a sense or a feeling or something going on, no tastes, no smells, because that will impede my work. That could throw in a suggestion that I don't need. If I do this, then what I do then is I can do that. and then go, well, something's fired off. I know I can have I know I can get hypnosis, and I know that I can get a connection in some way. And that's what I've been doing, rightly or wrongly, and it seems to work, because don't forget, we're in a different little universe, right? But on the same token, that's what I've been doing on my pre-qualification. Simple hypnosis induction, get them into hypnosis, not too deep, not too fannying around, just get straight to the point, and just ask the subconscious, unconscious to reconnect to the back of the nose or the tongue, and just start to reconnect until there's a sensation in either the back of the nose or the back of the tongue. And as soon as you've got that sensation, and you know that sensation, then do that. I'm going to come on to that in a moment, Angela. But the point being is that if I get that in my pre-qualification, if I can get a sense here or sense there, then I'll do it. There's on a couple of occasions when I've not got it, but I know I've got good hypnosis, so I've gone straight for the gut and done a little gastric band thing to see how good they are at suggestions. And and the key thing is, excuse me tonight, I don't know what I picked up, but the thing is that if I can get that, then I will say, I know we can get it here. Maybe we need to go a little bit further and investigate, but that, I can do that. Maybe we can clear out the stress and the tension if we don't attack the COVID, because that's one of the byproducts. That's one of the byproducts how I sell this to clients, is that I may not be able to restore it. I may not. It's not 100%. I can't guarantee. I don't guarantee anything 100%. But out of anything I do, this is the high risk one, in my opinion, for me, because I don't know if it's physical or psychological. But the key thing about that is that if I can get hypnosis and I can get some type of physical reaction by doing something like a little gastric band or like that, or making his stomach I know I can get that connection somewhere in the body. It says to me, you've just got to work a little bit harder. But what on this part, when they come in for a session, all right, you can do whatever you like. I'm just giving you ideas and options. But the key thing about that is that they know something can happen. So in the eventuality that I don't get a result, what I will do is just reduce their pressure cooker. I will just say to them, if I cannot get it, and we've experienced hypnosis today, and I've had people go, I can't feel it, I can't notice it, I can't feel my gut moving, Karl. That's fine. I just say, you're right, I'm not the right hypnotist, or hypnosis just isn't for you. And we just part company, and that's it. And I've had a fair few people do that, and I don't mind that. And I just wish them well. And if they need me in future, to contact me. That's just life. That's just being honest. But if I can get a result by, getting the stomach or something like that, a reactionary thing, then I know that deep down I can do that. But on the same token, if I can't, then my other tactical option, if you like, my other option I can look for is basically, I will clear out your pressure cooker so you can deal with life a lot and far more easier than what you are at the moment. And that's technically that's brutally where I am with this, and it's something that you have to do like that. Now, David's asked a question now. I'm going to come on to that in a moment about that. So let me just go through to this. Okay. I guess people may also deliver their own metaphor when you ask what they like. Yeah, absolutely. You have to work with the client. I thought tonight, I thought about this because I had a cracking result the other day, and to be honest, I get sick and tired of people sometimes. I'm just like that. I'm just going to tell it how it is. I've had more success than I have had failures, and my work's clean. The point being is that you use what you want. I'm merely giving you some ideas. Karl, have these clients continue to have their smell and taste restored in long term? Like I said a minute ago, there's 4 people that have gone away. 2 didn't have anything on the day, even after the pre-qualification, and 2, after a couple of days, they nosedived off. And in one case, she said it amplified it. So figure that out. But she didn't blame me. I didn't actually charge her for it. But on the same time, she didn't blame me. She just said that we did everything. I know something happened. I know something can change because she did experience it. It's just how long it can do. And, this is, I throw a lot of my time for free to people. But where do you draw the line on this? Where does it start sucking the living shit out of you? And that's the thing. So, I I would test this yourself. This is all I can say to you, Colette, is that go out there, practice with people, ask people to come in, do some videos with people, that may not be able to afford yours or David's services, being multi-millionaires living in New Zealand as you are. Okay. So this is something I want to stress, is that don't bring any of this shit. Do not bring any of this shit until the last moments when you know you've finished. When you are like that and you go, something just happened, that's when you bring this stuff in. And this is what people don't get about this, is that you have to keep it clean all the way through. I've kept it clean all the way through. I have not brought lemons, coffee, honey, Coca-Cola into this. And the one that I load up this week, we got a lot of stuff back. We got lots and lots of things. Mint cookies that tasted like petrol. I think she said petrol. I'll load the video up tomorrow and you can see it. But she said that they tasted like petrol before it. She had one then. She could taste the mint and the chocolate. Over the moon. She went upstairs, grabbed a coffee, tasted it. I never said the coffee tastes like coffee. The lemon tastes like lemon. The chocolate tastes like chocolate. The mint tastes like mint. Because that's subjective and you're leading people on the wrong garden path. And the key thing is that, Colette, did he not tell you? Because he's just enrolled in my mentoring. That's, am I joking? So the thing is that the key thing is that keep that way out. Keep it way out of your work until the very, very end. And what I tend to do is I get my clients, if you watch my videos in my YouTube channel, is what I want you to do is go watch and go say, I want you to go to the fridge and I want you to go get some things that you may want to test now. All right, go away and go to, I don't say go get a lemon. I might have done, in fact, I didn't say go get a lemon. I said go get something out of the fridge, like a lemon or something like that. And that's about the extent of where I got. But then she sat there in the fridge with hot sauces. The one in, was it Turkey? I think the one in Turkey. She's an English girl living in Turkey. And yeah, she was doing all of that. She's had great results. But I never said the hot sauce. I never said the lemon. I said, go to the fridge, go get something. On the one that I'm loading up tomorrow on the videos for members, is that what you'll see there is what you'll see there is she's already pre-planned it and got a smorgasbord right next to her. So I said, I'll go get this. And the only thing that didn't come to, that didn't like immediately have an impact was Coca-Cola. And we both went, well, to be quite honest, who gives a shit about Coca-Cola? You know, if she has restored, not me, if she has restored so many different flavors, then all I have to say is that if Coca-Cola is the last one that she didn't have that come back, that's a result in itself. All right. So we really don't have cases in NZ to work with, which we're grateful for. Absolutely. So get yourself a video and on YouTube and do what I'm doing, and then reach out to people around the globe that are doing it. That's an idea for you. All right, just to practice that. But yeah, there's that. Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, I know in Australia they're having a bit of a peak. I think, to be quite honest, if we don't come out of lockdown on the 19th of July, we should have been out on Monday. If we don't come out, there'll be a riot. I just don't think that people are going to bother their asses anymore. And I think at the moment in England, people really don't give a shit. I know a lot of people do care, but I think people are now just starting to get bored of it and now starting to let down their guard a bit. The amount of people I can now see walking around with, I'm now, I don't have to wear a face mask and all that type of shit. There's that. Under his side of the bed, apparently. So yeah, so right, I just want to come back onto this, is about the control room. Look, the control room is a great way of doing stuff as well. It's another metaphorical way of getting a client to do their own work, and the control room is something I would use as well. And the other thing I do as well, especially with like that control room side of things, is what I tend to do is I do that via the screen. So if I've got them on there, I'll just do this and then turn it up. are up, 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 up. So just to get this right, somebody said the other day, it looks like you're turning it down. What I do is I just keep telling them, and while I'm doing stuff, I'm going to turn that flavor up, 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 or that negative feeling down, 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 like that. All right. So when you're working with people online, make sure that you do that, turn it up, 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 or down, 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 down. So they get the idea. So if you're going the wrong way on your camera, they're not going, well, I felt it going up, because it happens. So just repeat the word. But yeah, Anya, did you turn up late? It's detention if you are. Coca-Cola is full of sugar and other bad stuff, etc. So maybe her body doesn't want her to taste it like it again. If it makes sense, yes, possibly could be. Or, you know, just maybe it's just the sugar. I don't know. I haven't drunk a can of Coke in I don't know, probably 2 and a bit years now. I don't touch the stuff. Right. So Wendy, have you ever worked with other long COVID symptoms like fatigue? Yes, I treat it the same way as I would do fibro or CFS. Same principle. Yeah, same principle. You know, there's that as well. You know, just have a look at that. But these things here, you know, just it's however you work. You know, I got an email the other day saying, oh, you just did one trick pony, you're like fucking Maggie Fingers. And this, yeah, I do actually. Yeah, because it works. Because when you realize it's got nothing to do with the technique and the confidence of the practitioner, then you get it. You get hypnosis. It's nothing to do with techniques. But yeah, what you could do is you could work in that the same way as you would work with CFS and stuff like that. And that comes back to that actually with this email, is that when I nonchalantly just threw that away, is the one earlier, is that the lady with the nutrition, because the other thing to consider as well is that what's their diet been like? Because if they're going through a depressive state, what's their diet like? Because you know, yeah, if their diet is poor, what is that done? And you know, like Janet Thompson went through it as well. What's their gut flora like? Their probiotics. What is that gut flora like? What are they like? How are they working? How is their immune system being supported? That's another thing as well. You know, I sit here now and I drink a thing called, for those people in England, it's called Chuckling Goat. But if you don't know what that is, it's kefir, and it's goat's milk kefir. It's not as bad as it sounds actually. It's called kefir, and Chuckling Goat in England, and I drink that. I drink about half a bottle of that a day. And the key thing about it is that I look after my gut flora, look after my gut. I eat fairly healthy food. I don't have wheat. I don't have gluten. I don't have any. I minimize my dairy, to be brutally honest, on what I'm doing. So I don't have any milk, tea, coffee anymore. So I've weaned that stuff out of my life. So I'm fairly good like that anyway. It's just gin that gets in the way that purifies my system. But anyway, all water should be purified with alcohol. So anyway, that's another subject. But, you know, when we are dealing with this and that fatigue, and they're going, get in. And the thing is that, thanks, Simon. Obviously, this is a very important evening. And thanks very much for bringing that up. So the point being is that that's something to look for if they're going down that path. You know, that was one of the things I said the other day. What's your diet like? Well, I said, I don't give a shit now. You know, and that's part of it. You know, if they don't care about what they're shoveling in their body, of course, what's the knock-on effect? As therapists, you know that. If they're eating shite and they're feeling like shite, they're going to keep going down that whirlpool of shit. And that's the thing. That's something you've got to look at. And that's something that, when I'm working with people with fibro, CFS, anything like that, that's one of the primary things that I look at. What you're doing at the moment. And I call in Janet and I'll say, Janet, can you work with this person first? And then I'll sort their heads out. So Janet does the diet, I do the head. So there you go. So yeah. Good. So yeah, right. So at the end of the day, what I don't want you guys and girls to be afraid of is, if you are not a therapist and you're watching this, reach out to a competent, occupationally competent hypnotist that can do it. Not just me. Go out to anybody else and go do it, right? If you're a therapist, utilize that pre-selection to help you, and then use some of the techniques I've given you tonight to help and support you there. All right? Because, you know, and I'm going to say it again. I know there's about 3 doctors watching me at the moment. I know that. And the key thing is that when doctors can't agree, who are we, to sit there and butt in and say this, that, and the other? And this comes back to, I work with the human first. I work with the person that sat in the chair and then deal with the label thereafter. I always do it in all my work. Some people don't like it. I couldn't give a shit. That's the way I deal with it. I deal with the person first, then I deal with the label. Deal with the person and then calibrate and see if the label's still there. That's the easiest way of looking at it. Yeah, like Davis just said, then he'd work with a dietitian as well. So, there's something for you to consider there. If you haven't got a dietitian in the area or somebody, speak to Janet. Speak to Janet. She's global. She'll help you, and if you're not sure, get, she does courses. I don't get anything for this, punching these things out. But Janet does an online course called not the placebo diet. Anyway, if you go to the placebo diet website there, it's the color code system. And she talks about all of this stuff in there. It won't make you a nutritionalist, but it will give you an understanding. So if you haven't got that, then that's something you can consider to put in your armory as well, because it is vitally important. I never give advice on what people should do and shouldn't do. I merely guide people and what I think is best practice. It's like the other day I put up about migraines in a group. Somebody went, "Oh, but you're prescribing." No, giving somebody advice and asking them to look at something is not prescribing anything. Me saying, go research magnesium in a group is not prescribing. If I say take 100 milligrams of it, that's prescribing. 100 milligrams 18 times a day, that's prescribing. And I do not condone that, by the way, do not do that. But if you are going to take something, always go to a specialist. But it's always worthwhile to be able to go to people that have got these issues. What are you eating at the moment? Just drinking anything. I'm eating anything, just trying to do it. I had a lady the other day just eating pickles and chilies. That's all she was doing, just to try and bump start a system. And then we looked at what she was eating, and it was Mars bars in the morning for breakfast. Stop that straight away. So, yeah. I remember telling somebody into bodybuilding, if you knock down the house and build it up, the same material, you'll get the same house. You need just better bricks. Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. Absolutely right. And that's one of the key things as well. You've got to start not just looking at what the principal thing that they're coming in and waving at, it's the other stuff that they might be flagging around on as well. And it's those type of things there, the diet. And that's when that popped up a little while ago. That was one thing that flashed up in my little head. It was like about the diet side of things, but that was something I was au fait with anyway. I've been on enough Janet's courses to bloody pick up enough anyway. But on the, if you haven't, get a nutritionist involved. Talk about the immune. That's my Suffolk, no, my Norfolk. I'm not Suffolk. My Norfolk coming at me then. Immune system, your immune system, working with that. To combat it. But this all comes back to, ladies and gents, if you've got two scenarios, it's psychological or it's physical. If it's physical, then to be quite honest, you could have a crack. I mean, if it's broke, it's broke. You could have a go, and if you think you're a wizard and you think you're something special and you think you could probably help fix that membrane, get the subconscious to do that, and you're that type of person, or you're a healer, that's entirely your scope. I have a different opinion on that, but on the same token, doesn't mean you don't do it. All right. But there you go. Oh, no, really? There we go. Anyway, I was voting for the Scots tonight. I really wanted him. I still want him. There's plenty there. But on the same token, you've got that. So guys, if you've got any questions, I don't think I missed anything out. Look, let me just go through this patter again. I do that preamble, that pre-chat prior to them turning up. I do that 10-15 minutes when I'm on a Zoom, prior to them booking a session. First, to see if we can get hypnosis. Second, to test. If I can get a sensation in the back of the nose, the back of the throat, or on the tongue, or in the gut, then I will say to him, I firmly believe that we can get a result. I'm not giving you 100%, but I think we can get a result. If I cannot restore it, I will make you feel better. That's one of the key things. That's all I can say, because it may well be physical damage and I can't do anything about that. And that's one of the key things. That's the only time I ever do this. And that's something for you to think about on that note there, right? Is to do that little 10-15 minutes. Is hypnosis right for them? Can you get a sensation back of the nose, back of the throat, in there? Then reconnect the three parts, get the subconscious, unconscious to fix, repair, restore, get the back of the nose, subconscious back of the nose, fix, repair, restore, that in there, fix, repair, restore, light bulbs, control room, whatever you choose, mystical, magical unicorn dust. I couldn't care less, right? But on the same token, there's that, right? When you know that you've gone through that pattern, those 3 stages, reconnect this to itself and fix, repair, restore, you've got a result here and you've got a result there, or one or the other. If you've got that, that is the only time, it is the only time that that I will then introduce the test phase. That is the only time. The only time that I will mention a lemon, I will mention a coconut, I will mention a bottle of Coke, or remember any of that is at the very end. And I will tell them to go to the fridge or the freezer to select some things, so I'm still clean, and then get them to come down when they're ready to taste it. And like when you see in the video the other day, she's drinking coffee and is over the moon, and eating chocolate and mint biscuits and is over the moon. Coca-Cola didn't work out. I couldn't give a shit. And I actually say that in the video, but I couldn't give a fuck about the Coca-Cola, because at least we've got something back and we know that we're going to go there. All right. So there's something there. Yeah, like that. And hail down, they said. I know. It's been one of those common things, you know. You may bow down. You may bow down. All right. So yeah, let me move this out of the way so I don't look like Caesar. I could do a complete close-up for you. Caesar Gandalf. There we go. Is that better? There you go. So yeah, so I just thought I'd give you some ideas, because I got a great result. I got another great result. I sometimes get a bit of a slap around in, but I don't really take no notice. The one thing is that I always take doctor's notes. Sorry, always on caution, work with the GP, the doctors. I was feeling quite uncomfortable that is, while you lot are up my nose. Always work with doctors, but be mindful that when people are telling you you can't do it and it's impossible to do it, just be mindful. There are people out there that I know that I've probably saved one life because of this, by doing it and getting results, keeping it clean. And do you know what? Who gives a flying shit? If you drop a suggestion in by accident, it gives somebody some hope, gives somebody some belief, so fucking well be it. And my opinion is to you guys, my opinion is to you at the moment is maybe to, and I talk about your YouTube channel all the time, is maybe to maybe do a video on this, you know, at the end of the day, nothing's impossible. I don't know. Trying to use a pogo stick to get up Everest might cause a little bit of a hoo-ha, but no, I'm only joking. But you're right. At the end of the day, it's like me. I'm not here to say this, that, and the other. If you're into spiritualism, you're into Reiki, you're into whatever you want, you go bloody well do it, right? I couldn't give 2 monkeys' asses. You do what you think and make the client believe. That's all techniques are, is a belief system. All right. That's all they are. You get the client to believe that what you're doing is working. All right. That's all it is. The thing about it is I'm just showing you, I'm breaking down tonight some of the things, that I've introduced, and a couple of little snippets there for you that you can take away and think, I need to get a video on my YouTube channel because I've been a lazy bone-idle ass and I haven't done any videos. Some of you in my Facebook group, and the key thing is that yeah, absolutely. By the way, people on chemo can have their taste affected too. Absolutely, that's primarily where that comes from as well. For many years that's happened like that. But guys, don't forget, if you are liking this, please put some likes up and maybe share it with some friends or colleagues, and I don't know, some groups that might piss them off. Oh, that's another thing as well, right? Never, ever, ever put your videos in a group that's full of people that have it, because it's part of their identity. It's the same as CFS groups and post-trauma groups. I don't bother anymore. I don't bother putting my stuff in there, because they all like swimming around in their own vomit. They like going into that group to throw up over each other. So that's something that I learned when I started getting results. I put them into groups and I just started getting a kick in for it. Like, oh, you're leading people, like piss off. You refuse to watch this video of somebody having a successful session, and I'm saying that I'm not even charging. I want people to come forward for free, and you're telling me I'm taking the piss. People love vomiting over each other. That's one of these things. You'll see it in hypnosis groups, in psychotherapy groups. They're all throwing up over each other. They've all got that, and then literally like that. But do what you want to do. Put videos up, show people it can happen, work with people, and maybe generate those. Because even though in New Zealand, I would say that there are people that probably had long COVID. You may not have cases of COVID, but you may have long COVID effects thereafter. So you've still got an audience. And if you don't know about it, pump one of these videos up and see if you have got an audience, because people will be searching for it. But the key thing is about be clean through your session. Be clean through your session, right? And the key thing is at the very end test, all right? Be mindful to work with doctors and work with contraindications. That's a red flag. You know, that's for me. Red flagging any contraindications is huge for me. Do that. Make sure you do that. But the same token is that what I've listened to is doctors saying it's totally impossible. Another doctor's sitting here and saying that they're giving people homeopathic and materials. And there's a doctor in Norwich who's doing the olfactory testing, that's doing all of that and getting results as well. So no, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. So to be quite honest, if you do something and you help somebody out, good fucking on you. If you can help one person, then it's heading in the right direction. Who knows? And absolutely, that person who wanted to, and that's what they said to me. I want to stick my head in an oven and I want to end this because I can't handle it anymore. Got to crack a few eggs. Absolutely. But on the same token, this is no disrespect. And I know there's doctors watching. They know me. I'm not being disrespectful to them. I'm just saying, when you lot get your fucking act together, then we'll get our act together. Until then, just leave it. I'm being honest. You know what I'm like, folks? I'm just going to tell you, at the end of the day, we've got doctors here telling me, oh, we can fix it. We can do this and we can cure it. And then we've got other doctors saying it's totally impossible. I get it. If it's a physical damage, if it's physical, I get it. If it's not, it's psychological, then go for it. But test it first. All right, guys, we're coming up to the end. Don't forget, like this video, maybe share it. What made me bring that up? I don't know. But on the same token, guys, at the end of the day, if you've liked it, please like this video and share it around. If you are having problems with long COVID or anything like that at the present moment in time, there's my details at the moment in time. And that stuff like that. So yeah, cool. Don't forget, guys, this is a membership site, and if you haven't signed up yet, there'll be loads of videos going in the background. I'm filming the diploma on the 5th of July, and that'll only be for members only. So if you want to watch that and stay behind there and do that, and for $5 and for what I'm giving you, I just think it's a bargain, to be brutally honest. And if you can't be bothered to invest in yourself, I can't be bothered to invest my fucking time in you. So there you go. Anyway, so there you go. Anyway. There we go. No, most people wouldn't. My mother probably would. Anyway, that's a different story. But go out there, advertise services. Don't offer 100%. Maybe pre-qualify them. Use the technique, that light bulb technique. It seems to work for me. It's worked for me. Any other technique, control room, whatever you like, blah, 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 whatever you like. But don't introduce any taste, smells, or anything like that until the very end to calibrate and test your work. That's all I'm going to say. And even still, if the client is coming to you, maybe have some aromatherapy bottles that the labels are taken off, but then you can waft under their nose and test that way. All right? All right? So I'm going to love you and leave you. Don't forget to like this. No, it's like no therapy is 100%. I think what Banda said once, somebody said to me, oh, I came to you and I didn't get a success. And I said, well, I'm not, you're never going to get it. And Banda once said, if you've got 100% success rate, you haven't seen enough people. So guys, I'm going to love you and leave you, because there's people out there trying to watch the football and they're trying to watch me at the same time. Thanks very much. My apologies for yesterday. It was short, sharp, and sweet. Richard will be coming back on. Please go look at the project that he's doing at the present moment in time. It's a great bit of kit, and then go from there. Get your reviews done. Guys, much love. I'll see you at 7:30 tomorrow. As ever, thank you very much for turning up, and I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Take away what you can, and if anyone tells you can't, just tell them I told them to fuck off. Simple as that, isn't it? So, guys, on that note, go out there, get some videos done. Get some videos done. Advertise this service on your YouTube channel because it's fucking huge at the moment, people. This is a big thing at the moment, and you'll surf on the end of it. Pre-qualify, do some bits and bobs, find out if they're right, work with them, test at the very end. Jobs are good in. Do not blame yourself if it does not work, and just let them have a happy life. On that note, go out there. I shall see you at 7:30 tomorrow. Be safe. Don't forget, guys, go out there and practice. When you finish practicing, go practice some more. All the best, my friends. Bye-bye.